Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about one of Soder's pre-grouping railways, the Wellsworth and Suddery Railway. In 1870, the railway opened. It was initially built as an industrial railway between Crosby and Suddery. It was run by 4060 tank engines. It eventually developed a considerable passenger clientele and served an unspecified number of zinc and lead mines along its route. The railway originally hoped to use Suddery as a harbor, but with debris in the sea would later fail, this preventing its use by shipping, and trying to establish more would prove to be costly failures, which resulted in the railway extending south along the coast to Brendam in 1904 in hopes of having better luck at building a harbor there. The railway built jetties at Brendam, which was greatly appreciated by the local fishermen there, but attempts to establish an actual port was unsuccessful. Thus, in 1909, the project was abandoned. Now on to the locomotives that the railway owned. Number 1 and 2 were Manning Wardle K-class tanks, which is all we know about them until their disappearance in 1919 after the Great War. Now, since we don't know their names, number 1 will be called William and number 2 will be Charles. Then the railway's third engine is a Sharp Stewart 060 tank engine bought by the railway. Then it was rebuilt into a tender engine before being inherited into the North Western and disappearing in 1919 after the Great War. He also has no name, so his name will be Brandon, named after Brandon Percival, one of the fishermen at Brendam. How on to the fourth engine owned by the Wellsworth and Suddery. Now this is the one that we have the least information on, so to me he's a saddle tank engine that I found when I was finding saddle locos built in the 1800s. He also disappears in 1919. He's got no name, and I'll leave like it for now since I can't think of one. Let me know what I should call him. The Wellsworth and Suddery, after the failure of their ports, turned its attention to Tidmouth Harbour, and negotiations began with the Tidmouth, Knapford and Elsbridge Light Railway for permission to use the port and running powers to reach it. Terms were agreed and the Crosby Tunnel was cut to connect the two railways, and from 1912, pending the act for their amalgamation into the Tidmouth, Wellsworth and Suddery Railway, the two railways worked as a joint committee. They never obtained their act, for in 1914 came the First World War, and with it the formation of the Northwestern Railway. So on to my head canon on what happens to the four engines, starting with William. He was destroyed in air raid in 1917 while taking a munitions train to Tidmouth. His cab and dome was salvaged while the rest was scrapped. Charles, on the other hand, was sold off to a railway on the mainland and was scrapped in the early years of British Rail. Brandon's fate is pretty much the same as Charles, but was scrapped in the late years of British Rail. Now number 4 was different. Its life on Soder was longer than the previous engines. It was destroyed in 1941 by a German battleship near Suddery. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. If you have a suggestion for a video, let me know in the comments below.